So my project in Peru is called Peace Ambassadors. I will explain later on what is this Peace Ambassador, but the framework for Peace Ambassador is on the power of all arts to contribute to peace. Even if you see here Lothloriën Peace Festival is strongly based on arts. You see, we have music, we have rituals, we have all kinds of activities that are totally connected with that. So arts contributes to people's dignity, to peace, and to freedom. So that's what I have entitled this: Arts, Dignity, Peace, and Freedom. So now, I'll go a little bit of making an introduction, then I will explain the whole context of our speaking and how arts is not only for social transformation, but start with personal transformation. That's what we use. I'm an art therapist, so we use art as part of the healing for personal. And then I explain the case of Peru, my country, in which we have had 20 years of terrorism, and how by using arts we have been able to heal an entire population of 23 years of kind of massacre happening between the Indian population, between the urban and rural population, and finally the peasants and the indigenous people being kind of in the middle between military and between terrorists. So that is a little explanation, and then I'll go into why I created Peace Ambassador. So after all this, then I'll take you into a definition of art. How do you feel about art? Art is a creation of human mind. It is a very positive vehicle for personal development, for transformation. It's very playful, it's very innovative. So art has so much power in a very humble way. So it facilitates that we look into more sustainable and more equitable society. Now, there you have, that's a girl from Guatemala. That's a Quiche girl. And what she's saying there is, I have the right to live in joy and in peace. So that's what we were feeling. These are main wishes of children in different tribes. Now, in 2002, I was invited to the very first forum of indigenous population that was in New York. And there, from one day to the other, it's like today we got together with this wonderful lady, Rigoberta Menchú from Guatemala. You all know about her. She's a Nobel Peace Prize. She is an indigenous Quiche, and her family, herself, she spent the most terrible atrocities of war, because there has been an internal war as well in Guatemala. And but then she became so wonderful, her work for human rights. So I met her there. It was my first time meeting her, and we got very lovely acquainted. The same, I got very much acquainted with Doña Rosa here, and we decided from today we were talking, and we talked to the UN people. I used to work for the UN, so I have people I knew, and we organized a very beautiful panel for indigenous children's rights. And in 2003, because this happened in 2002, in 2003 the theme of the permanent forum was children, indigenous children. So here you can see that the vision of the indigenous people are based in four pillars. The family, and to have a very strong ties with the family and the importance of the family. Then we have the holistic focus, as we are all now into a very much holistic approach towards life. Then the role played by the community, and you see here we have developed in few days a community, and that is very important. And then the role of spirituality. So if you can see, these four important pillars for centuries has already been into the indigenous people. So it is wonderful for me, for instance, to come to Europe and to realize there are people like you very much appreciative of all this knowledge that comes from our original people. That's a sacred mountain in Australia, that's the Uluru Mountain, and there I just put a few notes about the indigenous world vision. And on that, then nature, the role of nature, the power of nature on everyone's life. And nature, if you observe the development of nature, nature teaches very much. Then we have spirituality, as we all have seen this, and then the importance of sacred places. For instance, this Uluru Mountain is a sacred place. I was very lucky that in 2003 I was invited by the people in Australia, and then I took a trip to the Uluru Mountain, and it's so beautiful. You walk the mountain totally around, it took me 3 hours, it's not all that big, and it changed colors every second. It's very, very powerful. So, and the indigenous people in Australia were not treated well. That's a beautiful indigenous person, the Huichole, one from Mexico. Now I will take you to what happened in Peru. From 1998 to 2000 has been the most terrible violence in Peru. And there, this is a presentation from some photo exhibition called Yuyapanak. You know, Yuyapanak to remember. Now, these arts, the photography is another art that is very strongly used, the power of the image to convey situations, to open up hearts, to make you aware of what's going on. So very powerful, the photos and what kind of photo can make. Now, in Peru we have a very important Truth Commission. This Truth Commission follow very much the importance of the Truth Commission from South Africa. So we learn so much from the South Africa people, and as you can see on the right here, it was an enormous amount of people being killed, died, and all that, and especially very difficult, many people disappear. And you know, at least if a person is died, you see the body or you make a burial. When the person simply disappears, it's always in your heart this situation that you would like to find this person, that maybe this person is alive. And you see the example even in Argentina, the mothers of May, now there are grandmothers of May, and still they are looking for their now grandchildren. No? So based on this, I take you into something that is very interesting. We have this population with so many people who have died. How to heal it? And so the Truth Commission called us, I work for human rights, and so the Truth Commission called us and we make a proposal. We decided that if they could give us the opportunity to heal this population using arts. And within arts, especially theater. And we were very happy that the Truth Commission accepted this innovation to use theater. And we are now an example in the world of how theater was able to use, and we use very specially theater of the oppressed. That comes from the Paulo Freire line of critical pedagogy. And so what we did is, we took Boal, is the creator of the theater of the oppressed, and he says human beings become more human when they discover theater. So this is just reflect the power that is in theater. And within theater, forum theater is very special. First of all, because it was developed in Peru, and second, because in this forum theater, there is no theater players, actors or actresses, and the audience. But the audience become a spectator. So I have a scene here about a theme. The scene doesn't last more than 5 minutes. You are there, and all of the time you say, stop, stop, I want to be that character. That character comes out, you come into the scene, you with everything you want to bring, and the entire group changes totally because of you. So this is very powerful. In India it's a movement. And there I've witnessed, I've been there in 2008, you have 5,000 people, huge rally of people, and all of a sudden down there you see small indigenous woman who said, stop, stop, stop. So comes in front, and she has the possibility to express, especially those situations that they are very marginalized and with lots of problems as women. You know, so it's a very, very powerful possibility. And that is the photo. This is Boal, the creator. And he said, sorry, it is in Spanish, but he said, I remember when we were all in panic when we were going to start the performance, you know, because we didn't know who the other people were. But what we wanted to save, we saved the people or we want to save the theater? And what they said finally, we want to save or heal the people through the theater. Yeah? So basically, is again what I've been saying, the art and especially the theater is a catalyst for expression of some things that you cannot easily express, is very accessible to everyone, and there's very possibility for open up sometimes situations that normally you cannot do it. Now, Llanos is this group I was telling you, and they wrote something I'm thinking, I am remembering, and this is the work that they did very strongly and very powerful with our population from victims of terrorism, and they use very much also rituals and ceremonies that we see every day here to heal these people, because they using symbols. It's a very symbolic way. And so now the University in Boston has written a very interesting book about the role of Llanos and the role of theater for healing. This is what we have after, in 2010, an analysis of all the work that they did for these situations. And so that is theater and photo. Now I take you into the power of other kinds of art. That's sculpture, rituals, meditations, labyrinths, and mandalas. Most of these things you have it already here as well. And so, sculptures. This is a very famous sculpture in Lima, goes along with what I've been telling you. This is called the Eye That Cries. The Eye That Cries is also, this is in a park, and this is the Labyrinthus of Chartres, this mandala, this labyrinthus, the same labyrinthus that you have here in the chapel. But all these stones that you see here, this has been written by the human rights groups based on the Truth Commission list of people, the people that have died, the people, they all written there. And the center, this is a sculpture done by a Dutch lady who lives in Peru, Lika Mutal. And Lika was very moved by the Llanos, by the Yuyapanak photo, and then she went to her house where she has a garden of stones, and she just picked up one, and it's very beautiful. This is the Pachamama, that's the, like a tower, the Pachamama, and then the Pachamama have just a little thing by which water of how do you say, lagrima? A tear. A tear comes and goes into the water, and all the rest is the labyrinth of Chartres. You see, that's when we were writing the names of the people and all that happened there. And unfortunately, you see, there are no good people everywhere, and they threw paint into this, but fortunately enough, now is again clean. But there were a lot of misunderstanding, and that is part of the situation. And so this is a say from, I did a research on young children, how can I say, children that were later on younger ones, they were displaced because of terrorism, so they have to move into the capital. And as you can read there, they said everything that we lived remains like a deep mark in our souls, but in spite of that emergency, the emergency put us together, and that is the interesting thing, that sometimes terrible situations make people solidarity, makes people come together, makes cooperation. So we all share the pain, but we all wanted to be healed, and we all wanted to contribute to peace. You have there beautiful children from our indigenous areas, very happy children. And now I will explain to you this Peace Ambassador program. The Peace Ambassador program is working with all these values that you see. First, we did a research with the students, teachers, and parents, and we came across that if we would like peace in the world, we have to work into all these things. So we have to work on our trust, we have to work in our sense of freedom, our tolerance, our truth, solidarity, respect, creativity, cooperation, friendship, you name it, all these things there. And what way have we chosen to do that? So to do it with arts. So the vision is that we want to empower children, because we realize there are so many things we can do to heal, but it's better to start the earlier the better. So we have children that we help to discover through arts, you know, we use songs, dance, storytelling, puppetry, collective writing, and we together co-create a peaceful world, you know. And so you are going to see here that in the Convention of the Rights of the Child, there are 3 strong articles that refers to the right of indigenous children to be taught in their own language, to have access to every possibility for their potential, and that's what we have been doing, and that's what this project focuses mainly with indigenous children, because among all children, indigenous children are the most marginalized. And so, focusing on the children's rights, this is a beautiful photo of that's Guatemala again, little girl. And there I am stating that the 13th September 2007 will be remembered because this is the day when we got all the rights for the indigenous people. It was only in 2007 that finally we had that. So it was a very interesting reconciliation with the past, and then they decide the future on the path of human rights for the indigenous people. That is my country. I hope you go someday. If you are not been there, this is Machu Picchu, the famous Inca time, Inca city. So you have there Machu Picchu, and I've said this is Peru, land of discoveries. And there is, you see, these are part of our children, our peace ambassador. And these children, we strongly believe on children leadership as a catalyst for sustained community development. And this is used a lot of ecological values because they become very interesting. The green peace ambassador are caretakers of the nature. So you have, these are the older ones, I have little ones as well. And so what is a peace ambassador? A peace ambassador is that human being, it doesn't matter age, that develops a life and live a life full of values. The children's perception of peace includes understanding all the lists that you have seen in my first slide, and therefore they all try to achieve this from very early years of life. That's what some green peace ambassadors go around the community planting trees, as we said, not only is to plant a tree in the earth, but also in the heart of people. And they are very much committed to take care of them, and as well as they take care of their inner three values. Now, on what is the framework of education that we follow in this program of Peace Ambassador? Well, this is the proposal by a French philosopher, and UNESCO is promoting this, and there are 4 pillars in education. Learning to know, learning to do, learning to be, and learning to live with others. The first 2 pillars we know too much. There is so much knowledge in the world. And even now you press a button and you get whatever you want in internet. But the last 2 is learning to be and learning to live together. This is something we really have to work on that. Because people, much selfishness, much materialism, and to say that they would live in community with lots of cooperation is something we really are looking forward to that. His name is Jacques Delors. Now, why I'm going to focus a little bit more in puppetry? Because this is what I brought here to show you in the project. And why puppetry? Because we use, as I mentioned, we use dance, I'm a bio-dancer, we use theater, we use singing, music, you name it, all kinds of things. But we are discovering more and more that puppetry, it has a very special power. So puppetry facilitates the expression of the self, is very, very playful, very ludic, and enters very easily into a symbolic world. And we used to say, in general, everything you have in your hands is your power. When you want to see a little bit more of your future, what do? You go to have your palm read. When you want to, there are so many things that are, where are the points of shiatsu, the points of energy? In your hand, in your feet. So hands are very powerful. And so if you have the finger puppets created, the characters that you create in your hand, is your power. And from where comes your power? From your heart. So this situation of using puppetry and in the hand is very, very powerful. And then why? It gives us the opportunity that these puppets were to be done by the indigenous women, and they are the best knitters that we have. Now, before designing the puppets, we did research. So this is a research with drawings on how children think. Peace is play. And you are going to remember this because that is the way we have built the different series that we have. And also you have here going to circles, and all this is a research done with children minus 5 years old. Like babies, you have a series totally with babies there, you're going to see them later. Then you have the family, and again the idea of babies. You know, we have interpreted, my students at university are very happy with all these possibilities because they try to understand better the world of children. Now this comes ecological series because as you can see, they mention the trees, you know, live in a house with trees. Then you have animals flying, like the doves, the birds flying. That's what UNESCO put, Picasso put the dove as a sign of peace. This is included Nepal because I lived in Nepal for years, so I also did the same research with the little children in Nepal. So they focus more for peace, they focus more in flowers and animals, you know, and playing together. And friends, as part of playing with friends, is for them peace. So basically, what we have come as a feature for a peace ambassador is that there will be a strong cooperation, identity, solidarity, good humor, flexibility, caring, and empathy. And there you just have a photo of what you see on the table that I'm presenting all these days. Now, this series comes in relation to what you have seen about peace for them represents mother, father, babies, new life, and therefore we created the mothers of the children are the ones who do the knitting of this, and there you have, you know, conversations between father or mother, because each animal have, there is a kangaroo, is an iguana, and is a monkey. So you have all kinds of animals there that represents the interaction between family and children. Here we use a series of classical stories, and we use Winnie the Pooh for friendship, and we use Red Riding Hood for intergenerational understanding, and also, as I've been sharing with most of you, to ask the question, who is the wolf in today's world? The wolf is no more the wolf that we see in the story. The wolf could be the internet, the wolf could be other companies, the wolf could be many, many other situations. There you have circus, because children like very much clowns. The idea of having clowns, of having other animals like the lion, like camels, like a giraffe, all kinds of animals you have there. And there you have the mothers. These are the mothers of our little peace ambassadors. As you can see, they are indigenous women and they are fantastic knitting to do this thing. Here is that we took our puppets to India. So this is the Child Museum, Nehru Child Museum in Calcutta. Then you have a series on our identity, the Andes, and then you have a few figures there, of pieces there. We got the program, our program got a recognition from UNICEF, and all our children got recognized because of that. My traveling, I've been taking and training people into puppetry in many countries. So you have me there while I was in India. Here again, we did a workshop in India, in Nagaland. Then here is in Nepal, the children of in Nepal. I lived 4 years in Nepal. Then here we have with the little ones in South Africa. Here we took in our play festival in Ramallah in Palestine. There is in Washington in the arts festival in Washington DC. And so finally I said in English, creating a better world with peace ambassador. So this is what we are doing, and this is what I prepare for you to share this project. Any comment, any question, I'm very happy to share with you.